In the winter of 1757, Scotland was at war, but not all Scots were soldiers. As Britain and France fought across Europe and North America, Parliament authorized rapid recruitment at home. By this point, Scotland had already given up large numbers of men. Several Highland battalions were being raised at the same time, drawing heavily from rural districts where population was limited and labor was essential. In the north of Scotland, recruitment did not occur in isolation. Each additional levy reduced the pool of able-bodied men available to work the land, sustain local business, and support families. As the war expanded, so too did the pressure. Charles Duff was a farm servant living in Lumphanan in Aberdeenshire. His date of birth is unknown. What survives of his life comes not from a family record, but from a confrontation with authority. Duff worked the land of his master, William Robinson. Like many rural laborers, his value lay not in military potential, but in skilled physical work that cannot easily be replaced. In January and February of 1757, Captain Simon Fraser of the Second Highland Battalion was recruiting in the area. The demand for men was urgent, and competition between regiments was real. To continue drawing quality men from Scotland, men already employed, skilled, and economically useful carried consequences. Each man taken was one less laborer, one less craftsman, and one less contributor to local stability. Duff refused to enlist. According to surviving testimony, he was forcibly taken from his master's plow by Fraser and his assistants. He was threatened with removal to Aberdeen if he did not agree to service in the army. When he continued to refuse, that threat was carried out. Resistance to military service was not uncommon. Between 1729 and 1760, British newspapers were filled with advertisements seeking the return of deserters. From surviving notices alone, more than 1,200 such advertisements can be identified. These were not rare events. They were routine. Each notice described a man who had fled service, often listing his trade, accent, place of origin, and clothing. Taken together, these notices reveal a system under strain. Charles Duff's refusal fits squarely within that pattern. Duff was transported to Aberdeen and imprisoned in the Tollbooth. There, he remained while appealing the circumstances of his arrest. His petition stated plainly that he had been taken by force, contrary to law and equity, and that he had refused to enlist in Fraser's battalion. But his appeal did not bring immediate release. During the proceedings, Duff was also accused of wearing the Highland dress. Following the Jacobite defeat of 1746, Parliament passed the Dress Act, criminalizing the wearing of tartan. The law was intended not merely to regulate clothing, but to dismantle Highland identity itself. A first offense was punishable by 6 months' imprisonment without bail. At a time when Scotland was undergoing significant economic and intellectual change, often described as the Scottish Enlightenment, the removal of skilled workingmen was not without cost. Agriculture, trade, and local enterprise depended upon stability and labor. The surviving records show that Duff was ordered to remain in prison until witnesses could be summoned. After that entry, the record falls silent. No document records the outcome of his appeal. No order confirms his release. No sentence survives. It is likely, however, he served the term prescribed by law and then was released. The archive does not confirm it. Charles Duff's story ends where the paperwork ends. His case reveals how recruitment, law, and cultural suppression intersected in wartime Scotland. For many like Duff, the war did not begin on a battlefield. It began in a field at home and ended without a trace.